Now let's talk about Young Thug, because this is a straight-up disaster. If you're ready to see how one of rap's biggest stars just flipped his entire career upside down, this is it. What's happening right now proves Kendrick Lamar's words about the state of hip-hop weren't just lyrics. They were prophecy. And let's be real, this is shaping up to be one of the wildest collapses in rap history, maybe ever. Young Thug swore he was going to rise above all the fake moves and the snakes in the industry, but look at him now. He ended up becoming the very thing he used to claim he hated. He even tried to ruin Gunna's name, painting him as the villain, but now the tables have turned in the ugliest way possible. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Thug tried to throw shots. Remember when he came at Kid Cudi, clowning him for being soft? Well, that moment aged like milk, spoiled and stinking. The irony couldn't be louder, because the same criticism he was handing out is now boomeranging right back at him. In the bigger picture, it makes total sense why Thug clings to Drake but throws shade at Kendrick. On Squabble Up, Kendrick spelled it out clear as day. Birds of a feather do like to stick together. And right now, Thug and Tupac are proving those words in real time, locked together in scandal like mirror images of each other. This isn't just personal drama, it's a generational turning point. The mess surrounding Thug isn't just wrecking his own legacy, it's shaking the entire rap game. That album he's been teasing for months, let's be honest, it was already on thin ice, and after this mess, it's looking like a total crash and burn moment. This flop isn't just about Young Thug, it's about to flip the entire rap game on its head. What's happening here is a full-on domino effect, and one side of hip-hop, the one already in crisis, is about to crumble even harder. Think about it. Gunna got blacklisted and dragged for something Thug himself has now been exposed for. The irony is brutal, and while Gunna has managed to come out on top with the industry slowly swinging back in his favor, the rest of these so-called heavyweights are about to feel the heat like never before. Lil Baby's momentum about to take a nosedive. Future Metro Boomin, Travis Scott, every artist that's been coasting on this wave is now standing on shaky ground. Because here's the truth. Outside of lyrical giants like Kendrick Lamar, most of these guys don't even know how to make timeless music anymore. They've been recycling the same beats, the same features, the same formulas, and people are tired of it. The numbers don't lie. No real longevity, no real growth, just a carousel of overhyped tracks fading faster than TikTok trends. And now the leader of that wave, Young Thug, the one who set the trends everybody else piggybacked on, he's exposed. This is the fatal hit that could finally put an end to the whole style of rap that's been dominating the charts without pushing the culture forward. Ever since the beef, the motion has slowed down to a crawl, and nobody's rushing to replay the same tired albums anymore. The hype machine is running out of gas, and Thug's downfall might be the final nail in the coffin. I'm not here to give you some boring lecture or fake intellectual breakdown like certain bloggers do. Forget that. What really matters is what this means for hip-hop as a culture. This moment marks the collapse of the clout-chasing era, an era where everyone copied Thug's moves, sucked up the shine, and thought it would last forever. But guess what? The foundation just cracked, and it's never going back to what it was. The rap game is in a full-blown identity crisis right now, and the faces of it couldn't be more obvious. Pac, Lil Baby, Young Thug, and the rest of these clout chasers who built their careers on hype instead of substance. The collapse we're witnessing is exactly what Kendrick Lamar warned us about, and every bar he dropped on Euphoria hits harder now than ever before. That Gunna reference is aged into pure prophecy. Kendrick's been exposing the smoke and mirrors of hip-hop for years. From Not Like Us to Watch the Party, from Squabble Up to Chains and Whips, every track has been a red flag waving right in front of us. He told us this game was built on lies, inflated reputations, and fake alliances, and now the truth is smacking the culture right in the face. And when Kendrick called out the cozy dynamic between Drake and Atlanta's rap scene, with Thug right at the center, it all seemed like drama back then. But now, it looks like he was setting a trap the entire time. Thug's public love for Drake exposed him in the worst way possible, because Drake himself represents the same shaky principles that are putting Thug's career in a chokehold today. Think about it. Drake has built an empire off morphing lyrics and artistic expression into cold, hard narrative control. That's what Not Like Us did. That's what Kendrick's been warning us about. And now Thug, who once claimed to stand for something bigger, is showing himself to be nothing but a hypocrite. If the roles were reversed, if Drake was the one caught up in Thug's current mess, Drake would have spun it into a global takeover, not a downfall. The double standard is glaring, and Thug just played himself trying to stand behind the wrong man. Watching someone like Young Thug stand on absolutely nothing has never made more sense than it does right now. His whole brand, the anti-snitch, anti-gunner, real street image, just crumbled in front of the world, and the mask came off in the ugliest way. One minute, he's the loudest voice pushing the no-ratting narrative. The next, he's caught up in the same mess he tried to shame others for. That's the definition of a rap, and it exposes everything fake about this side of hip-hop. And here's the part Kendrick Lamar was so sick of: this hollow, performative culture that ruins the art of rap. Drake, Thug, Lil Baby, all these guys have been playing pretend bosses, acting like their rhymes are gospel truth while moving like total contradictions behind the scenes. They love to puff their chests, threaten loyalty tests, and call someone out for snitching, but when the smoke clears, they're the ones getting exposed. The truth is, this whole wave has always been more performance than reality. Young Thug built his reputation on tough talk and intimidation, but the receipts show he's no different from the people he mocked. The same man who once shouted about loyalty and codes is now cornered by the very rules he tried to enforce on others. The hypocrisy couldn't be louder, and that's exactly what Kendrick warned us about on Watch the Party when he rapped about watching the industry crumble. He wasn't being dramatic, he was forecasting moments like this. This is the full circle moment. The figurehead of Atlanta's flashiest wave is exposed as softer than the image he tried to sell. All that posturing, all that hard energy, it was smoke and mirrors. And now, the whole house of cards is collapsing. At this point, Young Thug has proven himself to be just as fake as Drake, and maybe even worse. The man built his whole career on a false image, and now that the mask has slipped, everyone who bought into his narrative is left embarrassed and disappointed. The ego, the posturing, the fake tough guy act, it's all gone, leaving nothing but the ruins of a career that once looked untouchable. And let's be clear, this isn't just the downfall of one artist. This is the collapse of an entire era. Drake and Young Thug were the poster boys of this flashy wave, running around like untouchable kings while their disciples copied every move. But now, the records are flopping, the sales are drying up, and the wave that once seemed unstoppable is drowning in real time. For all the rappers who made their careers as Drake's shadows or Thug's clones, this is the end game. The formula is finished and it's not coming back. As a real fan of hip-hop, this moment actually feels refreshing, because while Thug and Drake turned rap into a hollow money grab, stripping it of its raw power and purity, artists like Kendrick Lamar, Clips, and Tyler, the Creator, have been carrying the torch with timeless albums and true artistry. They've been building the future of hip-hop while the other side wasted years chasing fake narratives and mid-level music no one wants to replay. For too long, this wave has been about false labels, empty threats, and recycled sounds. They pretended to be gatekeepers, pushing real talent aside while serving up the same watered-down tracks over and over again. And now, with Young Thug exposed as the weakest link of them all, the scheme is collapsing under its own weight. If this is the storm Kendrick told us to expect, then maybe it's not the end of rap, it's the rebirth. The downfall of Thug might just be the breakthrough the culture needed. What we can finally say without hesitation is this: the performative grift era in rap is dead. No more of these so-called tough guys pretending to have deep street ties and untouchable images, because the truth has already torn that mask off. Thug, Drake, and the rest of these frauds expose themselves as nothing more than overgrown man babies, loud about codes they never lived by, weak when the spotlight hit for real. The act has gotten pathetic and the respect completely gone. And let me be clear, I'm not here to play fake street analyst. I'm here to look at what this means for hip-hop itself. And what it means is simple: the game has reset. All the rappers obsessed with building an image they couldn't maintain have officially run out of time. They wanted to be feared, they wanted to be worshipped, but their own contradictions turned them into laughingstocks. Meanwhile, Gunna, the same man they tried to exile, is quietly winning. His numbers are climbing higher than the entire so-called wave that tried to bury him. That's poetic justice if I've ever seen it. Add that to the cultural reset being driven by Kendrick, and suddenly the whole field looks different. Kendrick has been pushing rap back toward honesty, artistry, and substance, and the frauds are crumbling right on schedule. Outside of Drake, who has been the loudest fake of them all, the rest of this rap pack, or as they love to call themselves, sub pack, is falling apart in plain sight. They can't even put out a halfway decent song anymore without getting swallowed by their own lies. And that's the real story here. The old wave is collapsing, but rap itself is finally healing. The torch has been ripped out of the fraud's hands, and the future belongs to those actually making music worth remembering. You see it, I see it, this wave failed, and the chapter is officially closed. The so-called Atlanta dynasty that ran off recycled sounds and the same tired formulas is finished. Future, Young Thug, and the rest of that crew can't get away with dropping the same album 10 different times anymore. The grift got stale and the audience finally woke up. The shift really started when the Drake and Kendrick beef cracked the culture wide open. Not Like Us wasn't just a diss track, it was a cultural reset. It roasted half the industry, put fakes on blast, and forced everyone to look at who was really carrying hip-hop forward versus who was just coasting. That set the stage, and then the truth about Young Thug came crashing down like the final hammer. This wasn't just an expose for us watching on the outside, it was a mirror for them. These rappers who built their names on fake toughness and empty narratives were finally forced to confront themselves. And that's the one thing they never wanted, to see their own reflection without the smoke and mirrors, without the fake hype machines propping them up. So now I gotta ask, what do you think about Young Thug being exposed as a fraud right alongside his buddy Drake? And what does this collapse mean for the future of hip-hop? Because make no mistake, this isn't just drama, it's the end of an era and the start of something new. And here we are, the empire has fallen. Young Thug's entire image, his whole anti-snitch, untouchable king narrative, gone in flames. What once looked like an unstoppable dynasty in Atlanta now lies in pieces, exposed for the smoke and mirrors it always was. The truth is out, and the wave that carried so many careers is nothing more than a memory. Drake can't save this, Lil Baby can't fix this, and Future can't distract from it, because the downfall of Thug is bigger than just one artist. This is the collapse of an entire chapter in rap history. For years, they built their image on fake loyalty, fake toughness, and the same recycled music, and now the mask has finally slipped. Meanwhile, the culture has already chosen who it's riding with. Kendrick, Tyler, Clips, artists creating real, lasting music instead of shallow grifts. The torch has been passed, and the people aren't looking back. We're not just witnessing the end of Young Thug, we're witnessing the end of a whole fake era that dragged the genre down for too long. So ask yourself, was this always bound to happen? Was Kendrick right all along when he warned us about these frauds hiding in plain sight? Because whether you like it or not, hip-hop just shifted forever, and the new guard is here to stay. And I can't wait to hear what you've got to say about all this. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story is shaking the entire culture, and everybody's got an opinion. If you made it this far into the video, that means you're rocking with me. So don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with somebody who needs to hear the truth. It helps the channel in a major way, and trust me, we've got plenty more heat coming your way. Now, if you really want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes, check out the next video, because speaking of rap's biggest losers, Drake has been on his worst run ever. Right now, he's so desperate, he's even trying to shut down hip-hop channels and silence creators who dare to speak out against him. You don't want to miss it. Click the suggested video and see just how far this madness goes.